Hello and welcome to Why Do People Apologize for Getting Into Things Late? I was Skyping my friend this morning and she said she watched Hamilton and she knows she's getting into it quite late. And I didn't think anything of it at the time, but then I was like, it's so weird to say that, and I know I've said that before, like, oh yeah, I'm only just getting into it, which is a weird thing. It feels kind of gatekeepery in a way, as if you could only be a fan if you were there right from the beginning, which would then in turn mean that no one could be a fan of Star Trek, or like no one new could get into like the old Star Wars movies. No one could be like into the Bible or any kind of religion. So I don't know, it felt like, the more I thought about it, the weirder it felt. Even though I know I've said that before too, like, oh yeah, I'm just getting into it, I know I'm a bit late to the party. I felt that way when I got into Lemise in 2014. Because it was 2 years after the 2012 movie came out. And it was obviously like 30 years after the stage musical came out and about 100 years after the book came out. So I don't know, it's a weird thing. But yeah, I thought about that for the rest of the day, basically. And I don't know, it's odd. It's odd. It kind of confused me for a little while. Still does. But anyway, we are furnishing today. Furnishing, detailing, doing the outside. I've decided to not split it, the whole furnishing, because otherwise it would be, one video would be quite short, the other video would be quite long, and it would be odd. I don't know, so instead of 3 parts of Check Please, we're only getting 2, because I'm lazy, and because I've spent ages doing this. I try to stay as close to the actual furnishing as I could. Obviously that's not possible because Sims has its limitations and I don't really work with custom content. I could have probably done it all with custom content, but I've never done it in Sims 4. I've done it back in the day when all you literally had to do was upload a photo into your game and then the Sims would paint it. I think it was Sims 2 or 3, I'm not sure. Just much easier. I haven't really looked into how to do custom content for Sims 4 because I'm just never playing with it. So yeah, that's why we don't have any custom content in here, and I should have made a list of how many times I've just said custom content. Anyway, I was trying to figure out which blinds to use, which curtains. I do change the layout later on a little bit, because I was very confused with the kitchen. But Bitty's room was fairly straightforward, except for the part where there should have been a window, but there wasn't a window, so now he has a window in his closet, and it's very confusing. And also, obviously, there are no photos or posters of Beyoncé in there, and I could have probably done custom content of it, but then again, I would have never used it again. So yeah, I'm just furnishing it as good as I can, detailing it. I'm trying to use these like fun little club flags as sort of Samuel flags. It does work like decently well, I suppose, given the Sims restrictions, obviously. And it was fun. It was really a lot of fun. I kind of discovered items I don't really use a lot in the game, because whenever would I use these flags other than to like decorate a student's room, which I don't really do when I play myself. And then I put all these postcards on the wall, but I put them all scattered until I realized when I later went back that they were all in a straight line down. So I will change them later on. But yeah, as I said, trying to stick as closely as possible to everything. It was also very confusing with the bed, because it looks like it would be a bed and a half, so not quite a double bed, not a single bed. But obviously, as I said, it's The Sims, we have our limitations, everyone has a laptop. I don't even know if everyone has curtains. I know Bitty does. Also, I really like the wallpaper because it's the one that's a bit grungy and dingy, and I figured it fits so well, and when I built, I just really came to appreciate it because I never used it because it looks so grungy. Yeah, I also haven't playtested it. I need to playtest it. And then I guess in the end it doesn't really matter if it works or not, because I don't think anyone's actually going to play with it. I'm not sure. I think it's just, for me it was just a fun thing to do, like between the years, just to kind of rekindle my love for Check Please, going through the entire comic, and yeah, then just kind of furnishing it, because it's fun to like put in little bits of their personalities as good as you can in The Sims. Obviously as good as you can in The Sims with the help of the images we have and with the help of the comic, and just a bit of, you know, creative liberty, because obviously you have to have a bit of creative liberty with this. I did find a bunny, so I was very happy and very pleased that I found a bunny. So we have Senor Bun. Yeah, so that was Bitty's room. Very red, I have to say, very red and white. And I'm still so mad that we don't have bunk beds in The Sims, and I bet once we do, we only get it for toddlers. But I try to do my best and give Nursey and Dex bunk beds, which meant that I had to sort of take away from their space a bit, which annoyed me, but it's not possible to build bunk beds without platforms, and I'm very glad that we have platforms because it offers great opportunities for building. It was just a tad annoying. So yeah, I used these two beds because they sort of look like they would be bunk beds. Used a bit of like debug to make it look more like it was actually one cohesive bed. And in the end I was quite satisfied with how it like turned out in the end. That was twice in the end, but never mind. They do have a beanbag in there. Sims does not have a beanbag, so I got a poof in like that turquoise color. Laptops for both. Yeah, it should all work. I don't think they can access their wardrobe, but Sims don't have to. Yeah, once again I was on the hunt of finding like clutter items to put around the room. So technically this is only Nursey's room by now, because Dex is living in the basement, which sounds very weird when you say it out loud. But yeah, he lives in the basement, so this is Nursey's room. And I try to make it a bit more chaotic than Bitty's room, just to show that they are like different people and whatnot, because this room is also quite red and white, obviously, because they have all their like Samuel memorabilia and stuff. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to kind of think what they would like, because we don't have as many images of their room as we have of Bitty's room. I think we only have images from when Nursey hurt himself. And I think that is the only time the comic really showed the inside of their room. So that is basically what I'm going off. It's not much, but well, that's just how it is, I suppose. And it works. I'm quite happy with the room. I think it is the weakest out of the 3 upstairs rooms, but hey ho. I spent forever trying to find a decent armchair I could put in Chowder's room. And I think in the end I settled on the one I saw first. I don't know why, just because I thought it would fit the best. And it does fit, because it does look like the one, because I think he basically inherited the one from Jack, so it's the same one, and we get a couple of good shots of it. Unfortunately, as it is The Sims, you'll know there isn't the right one or the same one, but this is as close as I could get without custom content. And yeah, this is all the like fiddly part I did, figuring out which bed and then realizing, oh, his bed is actually on like what is it called, like chest of drawers or something. So I had to figure out how to do that, and I have no idea if his bed is accessible or not. But I think in the end, as I said, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work. I tried it with platforms and then I just gave up because I was frustrated. And it was a whole thing. But I like the end result, and I think that's all that matters, really. And we only have this one image of Chowder's bedroom to kind of work with, and all we can see there is sharks and the shark color, and I fiddled around so much with everything, and it just, I don't know. It was a whole thing, and then I decided to give up on it. Because it didn't work the way I wanted it to work. But that might have been me, mostly. Most likely. Because I realized that I'm not, like, I really need to learn how to work with platforms and also landscaping. I'm so bad at landscaping, or like terraforming, rather. It's just, yeah, I'm no good at it. But yes, I'm just waiting for myself to give up on it. And I'm like, wow, you really went in there and you really tried that, and then, yeah, for nothing. Which is kind of sad, but I mean, I tried. I did try. And it was also very hard to find anything in like the color I wanted, or the color the hockey team has. Sharks have. So Chowder's favorite hockey team. It was just so tricky because Sims just doesn't have it, and I was just sitting there kind of thinking, once again, that I would like for them to bring back the color wheel, because it would just be so much easier if I could have the color wheel, then I could pick the color and actually do this properly and actually have like the right colors and not a weird mismatch of like petrol and turquoise and sea green, I don't know. It was just an odd mix of everything. So while I like And at this point, I don't really care that much. If it doesn't work, it's fine. It's The Sims. Like, The Sims don't even sleep at the same time, so whoever has that room can just sleep in a different room. And I also tried to find something I could put under the bed and over the chest of drawers or the bedside tables to make it like even, and it didn't work. I couldn't find anything proper. But yes, that is it took a while. It took a while until I gave up. Which is fair. And then I just went to town with the rest, and it was fun decorating it because I tried to find like fish things. There was no shark in there. I looked for shark, and the only thing I could find were fish. Like fish you can fish out from whatever the Sims fish out of, ponds and the sea and everything else. And it just, yeah, wasn't really possible. I also tried to find a good chest of drawers because he obviously has a chest of drawers there. And it is obviously larger. And I couldn't obviously fit it in because of the Sims and the way Sims works. And then I was frustrated at that. But it worked out in the end. Oh yeah, I think I did give him blinds. Right, I'm not sure if Nurse's room has any. Dexter's room doesn't because he lives in the basement and he doesn't have a window. I found these like club flags which all had fish on them and were all kind of like petrol turquoise, and that worked really well, and we can just pretend that all the little fish are sharks. I think that is a good idea, to pretend that sharks are fish and fish are sharks, because I mean sharks are fish, so it's only fair to pretend. And I was quite happy to see that there were a lot of turquoise, bluish things I could decorate with. Yeah, that is me just figuring out all the sharks, looking through the fish to find sharks. And there wasn't a shark. There wasn't even anything that looked remotely like a shark. For a minute I thought about using a tuna, but then I didn't, because that would feel weird. So he just has a collection of basically most of the things I could find in that color, or sort of with that color scheme. Because I was just sitting there thinking like, he needs something nice because I love him and he deserves something nice. And then I remembered the underwater photos and was like, maybe there will not be a shark in there, but maybe a dolphin or something. So yeah, I don't think I gave any of them a carpet. But yeah, so furnishing the bathrooms was super easy because you do have good photos from the overview of the first floor of the upstairs floor. So that was quite fun, and I always like decorating bathrooms. I don't know why. I think you can do so much with it. Obviously not with the small amount of space you have there. But in general, in Sims bathrooms, I kind of like it, and even though I say I kind of like it, mine all look the same, because in the end you can do a lot, but I always do the same things. Also, the photo of the bathroom confused me a lot, because I kept thinking that it must be Jack's bathroom. And the one he had with Shitty. But then I thought, like, why would Bitty be in that bathroom? And also, if he would have been in that bathroom, the door would have been somewhere else. I was very confused. I looked at it and I was very confused. So I decided to not care anymore. Also, can I just say, I love the soap dispensers we got with Snowy Escape. because I don't have to fiddle around with the soap dispenser anymore, like move objects on there painstakingly. I can just put it on the wall. It is so much easier. Oh my god, I was so happy. It did make me quite happy. It's the little things in life, I guess. And I try to keep in mind that this is a frat house. All of these are kind of like, those are like ice hockey frat boys. We can't ignore that. I think I did at some point ignore it, because it's The Sims and you can't get it as like dingy as you would like to. But overall, I'm very happy with the bathrooms and the upstairs rooms in general. I just think they do show their personalities, hopefully, or as much as they can. And I try to fit something behind the ladder upstairs to the attic. I couldn't think of anything because they can't reach it anyway. So I decided, because I stole some room by giving them a platform in Nursing Dex's room, that I would just give them back a bit of room and also give them a dead tree, which I scaled down to make it a dead plant, because if anyone has a dead plant, it's Nursey. Like, let's be real, that boy does not have a green thumb. I love him, but he does not have a green thumb at all. So now they have a bit more space, which I'm quite happy about. It does work well with the room. Also found a funny calendar of like firefighters, and I thought, you know, sure, why not? Why not? I also gave them a bit more clutter. Just because now they have more space, so I could put in more clutter, which was nice. And then I remembered that within the life edit objects we would have cups and mugs, so I found cups and mugs and placed them everywhere, and I was just so happy about it. I was like, yes, this is perfect. Of course they would have plates and everything there. This is what their big argument is about, that Nursey just leaves his stuff everywhere, and like his dirty clothes and everything, and I was just elated to found it. So yeah, there isn't much decoration going on in the hallway though, because there isn't much decoration in the hallway. It's a hallway. What do you expect? My tea is cold. But sorry, that's just a side note. My tea got cold. I did notice, however, that they had fire alarms in every room, which I thought was very smart. Or at least I assumed it was fire alarms. Yeah. So I gave them fire alarms. And more red decorations. Because why not? Why not? And there wasn't really a red and white striped outdoor chair, so I just went for other things. I'm not even sure if they can sit on there, but as I said before, it doesn't really matter all that much. They can get out there, and I figured I'd put a couple of candles there, because it would probably be the case that they had candles up on the roof. I'm not sure who would light them every time. Probably no one. They probably put it there in some like romantic movement to be like, oh yeah, this will look very nice, and then they never did anything with it. Yeah, so we've moved on to the attic, where we don't really have any photos of how it looks when Ollie and Wix live there. We have a photo of it in one of the extra contents, where they show that they have a chandelier, and that is about everything we see. I also think this room was way too large, but that's fine. I know it is too large, but that's just Sims and the building and everything. So I try to kind of give them like designated sleeping area and designated working area, and kind of give them a bit more personality, because we don't really see much of their personalities, I think. So I'm giving them a what is it called? I forgot the name. A guitar. I'm giving them a guitar and some, like, because I figured they were quite outdoorsy. I think that is something we know from, I think, from when they had their honeymoon, because they are married, or they marry at the end of the comic, but they marry in extra content, so it's always a thing like what you consider to be canon and what not. Like, I consider all the extra content to be canon, but I don't consider Huddle to be canon. So basically everything that is readily available on the internet and for free, I consider that canon. Which means that Huddle isn't, because it's books you have to pay for. And I have them all, of course. Obviously I do. Well, I say all, there's 3 of them. So yeah, I figured they'd be the, outdoorsy kind of, the kind of people who pull out a guitar and play Wonderwall. But, like, ironically. I also gave them skateboards, I think. Yeah, I don't know why, but, I had to fill this gigantic room with something. So, bits and bobs it was. And a couple of lights and just, I don't know, I think they get a chair. Yeah, they get a chair at some point. It's just because I didn't know what else to put there. Also, the thing that annoys me about letters is that they do have a laundry basket, but they have no means of taking down their laundry, because you can't take laundry down the ladder. So you have to take it out, put it on the floor, and then drag it into the basement. Which is just kind of annoying, honestly, but I mean, they should have a laundry basket. I don't think any of the others have a laundry basket. As I said, it's a large room and I needed to put something, anything, everywhere. But yeah, so basement, starting with the laundry, because we don't have many photos of the laundry or of the basement. And I'm so sure, I think I said it before, I'm so sure that there is a picture of Foxtrot in front of, or of, no, not in, I have the picture of Foxtrot, but I'm sure there is a picture of the outside of Dex's basement 5-star resort, but I'm not sure. I know there is one of his, like, cave thing, whatever he built in his and nurse's room, but I'm not sure if there is one from the outside. So I kind of ran with it, and it was a pain because I couldn't do it the way I wanted to do it, because once again, you can't build bunk beds in Sims, and he does have a bunk bed, but I couldn't do it with platforms from the way I've set it up, so I was just all over annoyed with furnishing it. But it ended up being quite nice. He does have his own fridge. Yeah, I also really enjoyed furnishing the basement itself, because you could just put so much useless clutter there, and we know that there is like a boiler or something in there, and we also know that the bylaws are written down on the wall in the basement, because we have a photo of it from, I think, the Teddy tool. So it was just kind of fun to look through the catalogue and see what I could put in the basement, which wouldn't be too kind of weird. Then again, I said it's a frat house, so whatever I put there wouldn't be too weird. It was just fun, because I could use so many items I never really use. which also meant that it took forever. As you might notice, because we only have 15 minutes left, and to be fair, I do the entire upstairs in 15 minutes. But you've noticed how long we've spent on this. I did enjoy it though. I know that I get rid of the tires at some point, because I was like, it kind of doesn't make sense that there's tires in the basement. But it's also, I thought it's America, they have cars. Like most teenagers or college students would have a car. But I couldn't fit in everything I wanted to fit in, so that's why I, in the end, got rid of the cars, the tires, and put in a bookshelf. Why did I put in a bookshelf? I don't know, because it looked like it belonged there. It was just, yeah, I did like it. And a couple of boxes, because there's always kind of weird boxes in basements. And on attics. Not on this one though. In attics. In an attic or on? In, right? Yes. Anyway, so we are decorating the inside of Dex's like 5-star resort now. I'm so sure at some point someone says that he has a jacuzzi, but I'm not sure. I'm so not sure about it. I was so confused. So I just went with something creative liberty. I just gave him a nice place to live. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out. He does have a lot more plants than Nursey. Well, he has a plant that isn't dead. So I think that's a win. Because we can see in the image where he is in his basement room with Foxtrot that he does have plants on the wall, I think. At least that's how I chose to interpret it. So I decided, why not? Let's just give him plants. Wall plants. And he also got, his mini fridge, which is probably going to be very annoying if you play. And I also decided to give him mostly like fabricated items, because I thought he's a very handy person, so he would possibly make all these things himself. So the bed, the bedside table, the lamp, like the standing lamp, as well as the wall lamps, the bookshelf and the armchair, they're all like self-made, fabricated. Which you can do with eco lifestyle, eco living, no, tiny living and eco lifestyle. So I took them from there, and I really kind of liked the like self-made look it gave off. Yeah, so a couple more plans. There aren't a lot of plans in this entire build. Like, I love decorating with plans. But there's barely any there. So we also know he has a steam shower. And I try to get the waterfall things there, but it just was not really working for me. So I decided to give him what I always do, like a window. Oh boy. Give him a window, because that's just how I built showers, like in basically all of my houses. Maybe not a lot in the ones I build on YouTube, or I publish on YouTube, but in the ones I build for my Sims, that's always the showers I have. But yeah, anyway, so basement is basically done. And when we move up to the kitchen, yeah, it was a thing and a half. Mainly because I started furnishing in the wrong direction, and then I was very confused as to why it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to turn out, because I just counted the counters, obviously, to kind of see how long everything had to be, and it didn't work out, and I was so confused. And then I realized that I had built it the wrong way around and just kind of flipped it around. And at some point you will realize that I realized that the kitchen wasn't large enough. So I was even more confused as to what the other room, where you can clearly see an archway, would be. And I turned it in the end into like a storage room. Like a storage kind of pantry. I am happy with how the kitchen turned out in the end. I still am very much confused as to what the layout of this kitchen is. And what the other room is. This is such a mystery to me. Like, what is this other room? Also, the living room is very narrow, I realized. Like, it's fine the way it is now, but I was very confused, and something just doesn't add up. But honestly, in the end, I didn't really care anymore, because I thought, creative liberty and Sims restrictions. And I did the best I could with what I had. Meaning I turned it into what I thought would work with The Sims and would kind of be the right-ish layout. And yeah, so doing the kitchen was fun because I like decorating kitchens, because Sims has so many kitchen-y items, which is a lot of fun. Couldn't choose I had a hard time figuring out which wallpaper I wanted, but we settled on something. So yeah, as I said, a lot of kitchen decorating items, which is nice. I still want more kitchen counters, because I know that I use the same ones over and over again when I build for my Sims, which is probably just personal preference. But yeah, I think the ones I used for this one are kind of, they work with what we see in the comic. So that's nice, at least. They do have a board there, which I thought was fun. I also gave them like the family board, so they could track all their activities. And I think this is also like the only room where I put these cracks and stuff. Cracks and scratches on the walls. I know the basement has some, but none of the other rooms do. I don't know. I just remembered it then, and then I forgot about it, I suppose. But yeah, there's just a lot of kitchen things. And I like to use these dog food items as kind of snack bowls. I like to pretend they're just something else. They don't have to be dog food if you don't want them to be dog food in game, because it's not like they can interact with the object anyway. Unfortunately, you can't do that with Sims. I also really like the party set. It's fun. I think I used it twice. Yeah, so again, the same curtains from upstairs, and just a couple of, you know, kitchen items, cookie jars, stuff I thought they might have in the kitchen, like a spice rack, stuff for hot cocoa, wine bottles. I left one counter free so that they could actually chop things up, because it's The Sims and we know they're weird about these things. And I kept trying to think if I have free counter space anywhere else in the house where they would then go and chop things up, and I couldn't think of any. So I wasn't sure if they had any free counter space at all. I also tried to find a cookbook, but I couldn't. I knew which item I was looking for, but I just didn't find it. So I used the other books instead and just put them there. They will probably tidy them up, but, you know, never mind. And yeah, as I said, I turned it into like the weird back room, which I just want to know what it is. I'm so confused by it. I turned it into a storage room, pantry kind of thing. Which turned out quite well. There's just a lot of useless things in there. A broom, couple of plates, bottles, wine, yeah. And I could use the laundry day shelf, which I always like, but it's so bulky, and I never used it in my builds. And I don't know why, because I really like it. I think because I tend to build smaller builds, or like just big enough for my Sims builds. Even though it's a really nice and fun item. I should use it more often. But yeah. There's just a couple of more details. I remembered the mugs. And then I thought they would have a coffee machine and a microwave. Because they're American, and Americans have a lot of microwaves. Honestly, most of my friends have microwaves. I don't. I don't own a microwave. I don't want a microwave. I'm happy without it. But yeah. So it might not just be an American thing. I also found a shoe, and I wanted to put the shoe there. But the shoe kind of... I think the shoe vanished. I know the banana peel I put down vanished, which is very sad. It's also weird how when you put down like plates of cupcakes, the food vanishes. Oh yeah, the shoe vanishes and the banana peel vanishes. It's just weird. I don't understand why that happens. But I also then didn't question it anymore and moved on to the living room, which was very small, so it didn't take me very long to do. After I figured out that I can't obviously use the sofa that's in there currently because it's too large, and I was again very confused by the layout. But that's also because I think I built the room too small. But when you have picked, like, when you look through the comic, you see that when they stand in the hallway, like when they just came into the front door, you see a wall where the living room is, and then you see stairs. So either I would need to make everything medium height wall and then drag out the room once more, like a square more or a tile more, or I don't know. But yes, so we settled on that. It's fine, it works. I don't know how they are supposed to have a house party in there, but fine. And yeah, then I just did a bit of detailing around the hallway, giving them places to put all their coats and umbrellas and stuff, and just a couple more, you know, things kind of most houses have. Places to hang your coat, shoes, whatnot. Then just a bit of detailing on the outside. And I was very confused. We can ignore that I was very confused the entire time. Yep, so just a bit of detailing around the rest of the house. Because I also realized at some point that the lot is way too large. I have not put it on a different lot though, but maybe I should, because this is just, it's very large. It's just too large, but well, anyway, I ran with it, and yeah, I don't think we ever get like an image of their backyard. I also don't know where their post box is, so their mailbox is just there on the porch, and I gave them more deck chairs than they probably have, but maybe they bought new ones. You never know. And then it's just a bit of detailing, giving them plans. I did not do any terraforming because I wasn't sure if there was terraforming, and even if there is, I'm not good at it, so I decided to ignore it. I just, I thought about giving them an ice rink in the backyard, but then I decided against it because I thought that would be very weird. But maybe I should. I don't know if I should do it. I gave them leaf piles and a barbecue, or a fire pit. And I figured that's enough danger. They don't have to have like an ice rink in the backyard. It's all fine and dandy. So yeah, this is just I tried to figure out if I could use different tiles for the way to the stairs, and I think I settled on the ones I have already anyway. I don't know, it threw me off and it annoyed me, and I don't even know why I did it. I could have just left it out and used gravel. But yeah, so that is the house. And we will jump into the game in a bit. Welcome back in game. This is the house in all its glory. You could potentially move it to a smaller lot. This one is quite large, but it would also fit on a 20 by 30. So I've tried that out. That also works. So yeah, let me just give you a quick tour of everything. So if we go into the front of the house, by the way, I've play tested it and I've done 2 changes or so, and I can't get Chowder's vet to work, so that one doesn't work. But yeah, so entranceway. Please ignore that my sim is set. It's a bad holiday because I cancelled holiday. So we're in the hallway. As you can see, this is the door to the outside, the door to the basement, the door to the kitchen, and right opposite of it there is the door to the living room. And in all the pictures I've seen, there should have been a door here, but I just can't figure it out. I don't know what that door is supposed to be. So yeah. If we go into the living room, so we have a couple of things to, hang your stuff and everything. If we go into the living room, it is a very small living room. I don't know what I did wrong with it, but yeah, it's just a small living room. It does have the yucky green sofa, and it does have a chair and a cake stand, so technically it has everything the Sims need in this house. It works. I don't know how you're supposed to have a party in here. It looks so much smaller than in the comics, but I couldn't figure out where I went wrong, honestly. And if we go back, we can go into the kitchen. So just, standard appliances, looking a bit run down. You can cook on there, it's fine. I've tried it. So all of this works well. Then we have the door to the outside, and the other door where I'm still not sure what that room even is, but I've turned it into a storage room. So now there's just a small storage room for a couple of, bits and pieces. And a dustpan and a broom and a wine rack, because why not? So yeah, this is it. And now we can go downstairs into the basement, which also works perfectly fine. So you have your appliances here. They can do their laundry, hopefully not set fire to anything. Laundry racks, a couple of, bits and bobs, and so many things I've never used before, which was a lot of fun. And then we can go into Dex's kind of like a little house. We have, lovely plants here. A bed. All nice and dandy. A mini fridge, where I know Sims will just get stuff out and it will be horribly annoying. But hey, I'm probably not going to play with this house, so I don't care. And then we have just your basic standard bathroom. It worked fine for me when I tried it, so it's really nothing much to it. You know, a towel, appliances, more towels, and a shower. Yeah, that will be it. And then we can go upstairs, up the landing, and here we are in the hallway, in the upstairs hallway. Here we go. So this is the room. This is the door that leads to, oh dear, I think Nursey's room. Yes, should be Nursey's room. Because if we go down here, this one is my set sim. This one is Bitty's room. This one is Jack's room, or Chowder's room in this case. And this is the way to the roof. But if we go into Bitty's room, you will see that it is... I have removed one of the chairs that was here as kind of like a pillow substitute, because otherwise the bed wouldn't work, and now it works. This one, the table setup works perfectly fine, so all of this works. They can access the closet, so all of that is good. And if we then go into this room, as I said, I can't get the bed to work. I would need to fiddle around with it a lot and probably kind of like delete this entire thing and start anew. They can't use the closet, but that's fine. I mean, it's Sims, they don't necessarily need a closet. So yeah, we just have a lot of turquoise stuff in here. Kind of like fish themed things, underwater photography. This is the room and the shared bathroom, which is just, you know, a basic standard bathroom. There's nothing to it. And if we go here, we get to this room, where I had to lower down the platform 1 because the adult Sims couldn't stand on it. So that was a bit of an issue. They also can't use this closet because it is being blocked, but they can use the computers or the laptops, and they can use both beds. And yeah, that's that. And then there's just this standard bathroom. Oh, I forgot to switch this over. They couldn't get in because the thingamajig, this thing was in the way. The bucket, that's the word. The bucket was in the way. Now it isn't anymore. Yes. So, oh yeah, this is Bitty's room, as I said. Works perfectly fine. And if we then go upstairs, up the ladder, we get into this lovely cozy room, which is nothing special. Double bed, you know, 2 desks with laptops working perfectly fine. All of this is working very nicely. So yeah, this is the attic room for Ollie and Wix. Closet works fine. They can use the guitar. And if we jump down to the outside, you can see that there is nothing much here. Bit of a ventilation system, you know, a fire pit. And there used to be a table here. Oh well, it's gone now. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, probably someone stole it. Can they steal those? I don't know. But yeah, this is just the front of house, deck chairs, and a bit of barbecue and a tree. And that's it. This is the house. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know that I definitely enjoyed building this. It was so much fun. I put so much time and energy into decorating it, and that I kind of really, really liked it. So there's that. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you, if you don't know the comic, you might start it up or reread it. Yeah, that's it from me for today. So thank you for watching. Goodbye. Good luck. Make good choices. Take care of yourselves.